Hi everyone, we're finally back with a new video, and today I wanted to show you some very cute tube tops. If you don't have my tube top pattern, what are you doing? Because this could be you. Just kidding. But look at these super cute long sleeve version of my pattern. I definitely love this style, for the colder months. And I decided, why not do a hack version for you all too? Here is a little hack with the same exact pattern. I just doubled everything, but I definitely love this version as well. So if you want to learn how to make either versions, then just keep on watching. And if you have any further video requests, do let me know, because I need more ideas now that I have more time to film videos for you all. And my pattern will be listed in the description. Okay, so to start, I have the pattern pieces all taped up just so I can show you what it looks like. You want to make sure that you're putting all the little black lines, the border around the whole page, on top of each other, and then it should complete a square like this in the middle. And when you're printing out the pattern, just make sure that you print it at 100%, just so that the sizing is all correct, but you can always use that little square to check. And today I'm going to be using the 2T size, so let me cut out the pattern pieces and show you all that next. Okay, so today we are making the long sleeve versions. So I just have my main piece and my long sleeve piece. Now for the main piece, I did add an inch to the bottom, just because for the flowier version, we want to make room for this 1/2 inch elastic without making it too short. So I just added a whole inch to the bottom, but it's still the 2T size. Now as far as other materials, it depends on which one you're going to make. If you're going to make just a regular basic long sleeve version, you just need not a half, a 1/4 inch knit elastic. And this is what it looks like. Like, it's still super stretchy, but it holds its shape. And then if you're making the ruffly flowy version, you're going to need a 1/2 inch knit elastic. This is just because there's going to be double the fabric, so you want it to be able to hold everything up. So just whichever one you prefer. If you are using the 1/2 inch, just make sure you add an inch to your pattern piece, but not the long sleeve. So now I'm going to cut out everything and we're going to get started. Okay, so for the more flowy version, I have this fabric folded this way, and this is how you're going to cut the sleeves and the main bodice. And then I folded it up this way. So now I can cut out 2 sleeves on the fold. You're going to treat this pattern piece like it now has a fold. So we're still going to get 2 sleeves, but they're going to be twice as wide. Just like this. I always cut up a piece of the paper, that's okay. So now, as you can see, our sleeves are just twice as wide now. So I'm going to do the same thing with the bodice piece, and then I'll be back to show you all the pieces. Okay, so now I'm going to show you everything that I have cut out. So for the basic long sleeve, I have 2 pieces for the bodice, and then I have 2 pieces for the sleeves. So I have 2 sleeves like this. And then for our more flowy version, it's the exact same thing, except everything is twice as wide. So here's our 2 sleeves and our 2 bodice pieces. And then for the elastic, for the normal one, we just need the 18.5 of the elastic chart. I just keep this chart because I don't want to keep referring to my laptop. But if you want to not print it out, save paper, you can do that too. So we just need 1 piece of elastic for that tube top. For the other one, we're going to need the thicker elastic, the same size, but we're also going to need 2 little elastics for the sleeves. And for that measurement, I just took literally the same size of the tight sleeve, and I cut out 2 pieces. So there's that. So that's everything you're going to need, and now I'm going to do simultaneously the same steps for both, because realistically it is the same steps for both except for the sleeves. But okay, all you need to do is put your bodice pieces right sides together. So this and this together. I'm going to sew down the sides for both. Same thing with the other one. You just want everything right sides together. You're going to sew down the sides. If I can get it. You're going to sew down here, this side, and this side. And then let me move y'all a little bit back. I feel like I'm not in frame. Okay, so there's that. And we're going to do the same thing for the sleeves. You're just going to take one sleeve, put it right sides together, and sew down the side. So those sleeves, and same for the tighter sleeve. I'm going to grab it and sew down the sides. And that'll be it. For those steps, I'm going to go ahead and sew everything and come back. Okay, so now that I finished sewing, I'm just going to trim everything up right to the edge because we're going to be hemming everything. So we don't need all of these rope threads everywhere. Okay, so again, I'm going to tell you the steps for each one. So for the normal tube top, for the sleeves, you just need to hem both the top and the bottom. You could hem with your cover stitch, with your sewing machine, with your serger, whichever one you want, but just hem both sides of both sleeves. Then you're going to hem the bottom of the tube top, and for the top, make sure to hem and leave a little gap. The gap is so that we can slip our elastic through. So those are the steps for the main tube top. Hem both sleeves, hem the bottom, hem the top, but leave a gap. So that's for that one. And then pretty similar to that, except we're going to hem the bottoms of all three, both of our sleeves and our main piece, hem all three of the bottom pieces, and then hem all three of the top, but leave a gap in the three tops I was gonna say. So hem all the bottoms, hem all the tops, but leave a gap at the top for the elastic because each sleeve is going to have an elastic. And of course the bodice is going to have an elastic as well. So hopefully y'all are following me. If you don't have a cover stitch, I just wanted to show you quickly what it looks like. And this is another reminder to leave a gap. So here's the top of the bodice and here's the top of a sleeve. Sorry, it's not focusing. Let me see if I can get, there it goes. This is what the back of it looks like. It looks kind of like a serger, but it's not. And then here is the front of it. Here's the sleeve hem. It just looks really nice. I would really recommend getting one. But moving on. Oh, also for the top, you want to make sure that you're leaving enough room for the 1/2 inch elastic. So I made this one slightly bigger than the sleeve one. The hem, I mean. Okay, so now I have my tube top hemmed and I left the gap. And here are the sleeves all done. These don't need elastic, so those are just finished. And all that's left to do is just thread the elastic through with your little safety pin. So I'm going to thread it through for the top of this one and the top of both sleeves of this fabric, or I mean this version. And I did leave a gap for the top of the top and the top of this other sleeve. So we're going to do 1, 2, 3 elastics for this top and just one for the other one. And if you've never done this before, you just attach your safety pin to the elastic, slip it through the little hole that you made, and just make sure that you don't lose the other end. And you just shimmy it on through like this until you meet the opening again. And just make sure you're not losing anything. And then all I'm going to do is serge over the top of this elastic right here. So I find that just a little serge isn't going to make it like bulky or anything, and it keeps it secure. And then I'll show you the next steps. Okay, so once I've had the elastic in, I just like to stretch it out so that all the fabric gets distributed evenly. And the only last step is to close up this gap. So all I'm going to do is cover stitch over it and then secure my threads so that everything is finished. I'm going to do the same thing for all of them that I added elastic to. And then that'll be it for that step. Okay, so now the only last step is to attach the sleeves, and what I like to do is go and find the seam of the top and the seam of the sleeve. Let me see where it is. Yeah, right here. And then I kind of like to stretch out the elastic so that it's a lot flatter for both. And then I line up the seams, and I'm just going to sew like this with my sewing machine back and forth. It could be a straight stitch, but I prefer the zigzag, so I just zigzag here, zigzag up, zigzag down, zigzag back up. Just go over it a few times, and then it'll be secure on both sides. And then I'm going to do the same thing with this top, but I wanted to let y'all know that you can even add a little more pizzazz and do like these type of sleeves for just the basic tube top, like that, obviously with the same print. Or if you wanted to do like the, or vice versa with this top, add just basic sleeves, you know, you could really mix and match everything. So I'm going to do that as the last step, and then we are all done with these tops. Alright, so here are the tops all finished. If anyone has any requests or has further questions on these tops, do let me know. But that is it for today's video. Thank you all for watching, and I'll catch you all in the next one.